joined now by Luke Chester, Organising Director at the Transport Salaried Staffs Association, one of the rail unions that is on strike today. You were in the background of that shot there, weren't you, Luke?
I was.
Mick Lynch made it sound like class war here. This is about the workers and the people who own the companies. Is it as simple as that?
Well, I think what we're in dispute over is very simple. It's about a fair pay deal. It's about job security, and we want some guarantees that contracts of employment are not just be ripped up like P&O did. So you can frame it any way you want, but that's what it's about.
Yeah, look, when it's framed so broadly, you know, of course, everybody wants all workers to get a fair working, paying conditions, etc. Can you be specific as to what exactly has led you to take what is quite drastic action so that people can understand at home specifically why you are going on strike in relation to pay?
Well, it is quite drastic action. We as a union, TSSA, haven't been on strike for a number of years. We don't take it very lightly at all. It's a very serious matter. But we submitted pay claims to each of the railway employers, as we do, you know, every year. And normally we sit down and we negotiate and we come up with a settlement that usually meets somewhere in the middle. This year we submitted pay claims, and every single one of the 15 train operators who are controlled by Grant Shapps in the Department for Transport told us that they couldn't negotiate with us because Mr Shapps had denied them a mandate to sit down and negotiate.
Why? Did he give them a reason why this was no year for negotiation? That we weren't given any reason by the employers. He said what he said in the media. He's accused us of being against modernisation, against changes within the railway. That's not the case. TSSA has long campaigned for investment within the railway, for digitalisation of signalling, for higher quality signalling systems, better trains, better tracks, a better service for the public. But Mr Shapps has cut £2 billion out of the budget for the railway.
Yeah, what Grant Shapps would also say is that, well, in fact, I'll quote exactly what he said, is that you're hell-bent on causing as much misery as possible to the very same taxpayers who stumped up £600 per household to ensure not a single rail worker lost their jobs during the pandemic. So if Grant Shapps was here, he would say, actually, we have very much invested in ensuring that workers do not sort of lose their jobs during the pandemic.
Well, rail workers were key workers during the pandemic. They were required to go to work and worked all the way through the pandemic to get other key workers into hospitals and ensure that goods and people could get around. What Grant Shapps is not saying is during the pandemic, out of the money that the government invested, because there weren't as many people travelling on trains, £500 million of that was taken as profit by these private employers. So how can it be right that workers are now being asked to foot the bill when the government's actually subsidised private profit in the railway?
There'll be people watching this who would probably like it if I pushed you off your chair this morning, because the disruption and the hassle that you cause people by doing these strikes. Even we both drove in today, and the traffic is horrendous. London is in gridlock because the knock-on effects of these train strikes are so significant in people's abilities. There'll be A-level students who can't go and pick up their results today because you're striking. Just tell our viewers why you think that you should be taking these sorts of measures and causing this kind of hassle to people.
Well, as I said, because the employers have been told by the government they can't negotiate with us.
But tell us what what are the implications for other industries?
Well, look, you've mentioned something that's really important. There's a lot of students waiting for their A-level results today, and you're quite right. The strikes may prevent some of them from going into their colleges to pick up those results. And I hope that they all do really well, and I hope that they come and work in a rail industry which provides good quality employment for people with secure jobs so that they've got a bright future.
So do you feel like you're future-proofing the industry in a way? These measures are not just for you now, because people will say, well, you're just thinking about yourselves and your own money. Are you telling me that part of this is about securing the future of the rail industry?
100%. We as a union celebrated our 125th anniversary this year. That's how long we've been. It is our industry. Our members work in this industry. Generations of people have grown up in the rail industry.
Yeah.
We want quality jobs, decent paid jobs, and provide an excellent service to the public.